welcome back to TMX Brick Notes. My name is Martin. Thank you very much for stopping by today. This is a new video series that I plan to post once a month. It's going to be on the third Friday of each and every month, and it will go right along with my city updates and the mocks that I'm showing you. This is a little more of a behind-the-scenes look, because when you see the city updates, you see usually the final product, or you see something at one stage, or if you see the mock, you're going to see the final product. Well, I am going to show you a picture slideshow, and I'm going to talk over it and explain the pictures and explain the thought process that I had from the very first version that I had of, for instance, the bank, all the way to the final version, and the changes that I've made along the way. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope it gives you more of an in-depth view of the things that I'm building and how I am building them. All right, enough rambling. Let's go check it out. Here we go. Go Cubs! First up, we take a look at the sub-level of a storm drain. Here's the final product. You can see it creates that black space where the water would go through, and it's actually kind of a cutout. There's a 1x2 plate that's missing, and it's the black brick underneath that gives that effect. Now we're going to move on to the alley. This, look at the yellow in the middle of the alley. That's going to disappear in just a moment and turn into a different color because I kept tinkering with it. I was trying to figure out how many pieces I need. There we go. Now we've got a bunch of 1x2 blue plates along with a 1x2 brick with 2 studs on its side. I thought, okay, I'm done now. But no, I kept reworking it. And I wanted to figure out what's the most efficient way to put this together. There I added in some more bricks for more support, including some lime bricks. And I kept going and I kept tinkering, and eventually I'm showing you all these plates on top, and there we go. Now it's a change to a 1x4 yellow brick and more support. That's the final product. Here's a few more looks. I'm trying to just give you the idea here that I don't build something and it's permanent. I tinker with it until I feel really happy, and then it goes in the city, and essentially it's permanent at that point. Here's another good example. We're going to move on to the alley itself. This is the original design that I did not use, and what I did there is 2 layers of reddish brown plates and then a full covering of dark bluish gray plates. And what ended up happening is I realized that's a lot of pieces, and then on top of that, once you put those tile on there, they're stuck. They're in there really well, and I didn't like that idea. So what I ended up doing is changing it to this, where it's bricks underneath, and got rid of all those plates underneath. Yes, there is space underneath some of these tiles, but that's not necessary, and you can't tell even from the close-up look. Here we move on to the bank, and this is the vault. Hi, Haley Bricks, Master Builder, coming to help me out. Look at this. This is key. That is a plate on top of that little safe deposit box area, and it switches to a, well, I took it off first and decided, you know what, I want to put in a tile there. There it is. So I can have access, so I can have like a half wall that is removed. And it shows up a little bit on the outside, but it doesn't matter because that wall is covered up. And now I've got a space where I can get my fingers in there and get to stuff. Next up, we have, I wanted to add a little bit of artwork. So I had Modern Brick. I commissioned her to create this, which she's much better at than me. Now we've got something that's very interesting. This is where 2 walls come together. And what I needed to do was connect them near the top. So the first thing that I did was I had them connected with tan. And you can see how the tan runs through the dark bluish gray. But I said, you know what, that's not going to look good. So I switched it to the other way around. Now the dark bluish gray is the one that's going through and protruding into the tan section. And now it's held together at the bottom by the plate and at the top with this brick. And it didn't matter that it was the dark bluish gray that was holding it together. Now we're looking at my first mapping of the vault itself on the interior. And I was looking at maybe doing this sloped thing to hold in some suitcases and have a cool look. I just completely scrapped that idea. But I used this black plate as the original spot where I was trying to figure out what's going to go in the vault, rather than actually putting the pieces in the vault itself, because once you put them in, they're really tough to get out. What I ended up doing is using this panel piece in the back. We can see as this comes together, I thought it would help these suitcases so that they would have a easier chance of me getting them out, so they don't go all the way back against the wall. I like the one tile, one plate there, so that these pieces of money are connected but not completely connected. They're a little bit easier to get out. So I got the cash in there, we got to add the gold. So I grabbed the gold that I have from the cargo terminal and decided that, you know what, I could put that in there, in that crate. That can happen. It looks cool, but I wanted it to look more like I've seen in the movies. So I used this CMF plate that's got the studs just in the middle row of that 3x4. There's a few loose pieces of gold. And then I sat that in there and I said, you know what? That looks better to me. So that's what I'm going to go with. There's room for another safe there. We're going to go backtrack and we're going to look at how I put the shelf together. I used 3 plates, one that's 2x and a pair on top that are 1x's. And that's going to create that space for the shelf. And originally I thought, oh, I'll do a tile similar to the post office. But then I scrapped that. Then I went with light bluish gray plates, and I added 1 row of plate in the back, 1 row of tile in the front. Very similar to what I did with the cash. And that gave me a solid shelf that I could then put a treasure chest on. Easier to get the treasure chest on and off, and it's not going to slide around when it's everything's put back. Again, these plates and these tiles are easy to get off, so again, get my fingers in there and get access to the vault. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Please let me know anything and everything in the comments, and I'll catch up with y'all next time. See ya! So I heard that Modern Brick is creating a huge building for my city. Do you know what it is? Don't worry, I actually know what it is. Nope, I don't know. Wait, I bet you do know. You're just not telling me. Okay, I'm not telling you. She gave me a whole bunch of bamboo to not say. Oh, I see how it is. So we're just going to have to wait and find out? Grrr.